Hello guys, welcome back to Let's Talk Ninjago. Today we're doing another Thursday tier list. We have a Ninjago Dragons Rising character tier list. Now before we get into the video, I want to say thank you guys for the support on the previous videos. I hope you're enjoying them. If you want to see more tier lists, please let me know because I enjoy doing them. Yeah, so with the tier list, before we go through the tiers, I want to say if I forgot anyone, I'm very sorry, but I shouldn't have because I've gone through the Ninjago wiki. I went on every season and I put in every single character that was listed. So this has got the most random characters that barely have any lines, which is why I've got the tiers. We've got go-to character, so amazing, perfect character, one of the best. Amazing character, maybe they just don't have as much development as others. And I do want to preface that this is just from Dragons Rising. So say we're doing Cole, I'm only going to base Cole off Cole in Dragons Rising, if that makes sense. We've got great character. Then next here we've got great character. They're great and could want a bit more, but yeah, they're great. Good, mid. Maybe I don't like an aspect of their character or something's written bad. Bad character, they're pretty annoying. They're written badly. Stuff like that. And then background side character. We will have a lot in this one. And apologies in advance if I don't know some of their names because a lot of these are like filler background, like for the characters. So yeah, I'm just not going to remember their names. So let's get started. The first character we have, the Dragon of Life. I'm going to put the Dragon of Life in good, I think. Not too much to go through with her. She's not in the season that much, but she does play a pretty important role. So, yeah, good character. I like what she does for other characters, specifically Lloyd and Zane. A lot of development between her and Zane, showing how Zane's more human than people or things realize. And yeah, I like her as a character. I think she's pretty good. Then we'll group these guys together. Or Agent Allen can go good. And then the other administration agents, this is Prentice, I'm pretty sure, and I don't know her, can go in background side characters. I mean, I put Alan in here. Does he really belong in the same thing as the Dragon of Life though? Yeah, probably because he's in it more. But put him here. He is a bit annoying sometimes. I find the administration agents have gotten more annoying as Dragons Rising has gone on. But good. I like some of his jokes. He's alright. Yeah. Then we have Aaron, goated. Probably the best new character from Dragons Rising. You could argue Sora maybe, but yeah, I think Aaron's written incredibly well. You've got him in season 1 being like a very happy to be there. You see, specific example, you've got the one where he's so excited to get up early and train, where Sora is the complete opposite and going, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to train. And you see that flipped on its head in season 2, or start to become flipped on its head, where Aaron's very negative and talking down about himself and very self-conscious of his failures and thinks he needs to improve straight away. It's basically once he sees his parents in that merge quake, the merge, the rip in the merge, as soon as he sees them, his character sort of changes, and he becomes very obsessed with becoming the best ninja and having to be better. So when he sees his parents again, he's the best he can be. Then we see the dangers of that when Sora is just trying to help him with helping Nia, but he freaks out and thinks it was saying that he's not strong enough to do it himself, where realistically she was just trying to help him. And you see that start to get in his mental, and he makes the rash decision to go for ours. Then we see in season 3 he starts getting perceived by other characters like Leafblade, who we do have on this tier list. He starts getting perceived as a villain, and he doesn't like that. So we realize that he's not actually fully bad. He's not a bad person, but he's just a bit misguided. And we see him turn back on Raz in part 2 of season 3 and actually see his parents. And then in season 4 he doesn't have as much to do, but you see him teaching euphrasia spin jutsu, so he's sort of matured a bit and passing on his teaching. So Aaron, overall, go-to character. Yeah. Then Aracor, I'm going to put in good. I like him in Season 1. I don't like him as much as Season 3. I think it's mainly the writing around his character I think is pretty bad. The Infinite Wishes thing doesn't make much sense. But he's an alright character. I do like him more when he's sort of like depressed and lazy, and it's just a more interesting part for his character than just another Jin. But yeah, he can go good. Then we have Barry Nibbard, Aaron's dad. Good character. I feel like we haven't got much. The main thing with Aaron's parents is actually Aaron. Like, we don't need it, but there isn't much development around Barry and Jenny themselves, which isn't what matters. Aaron is what matters. So, yeah, he can go good. Then we've got this Elemental Master. No idea what power he's got. Background side character. I mean, I like his design, but yeah. Then we have, what's his name? Agent Donovan. I mean, I don't like him as a person. He can go, he's an interesting character. How you sort of see this season that the administration are more nefarious than you actually realize, or at least some of them are. Because they put on this act of being very formal, all by the books, but then you realize like they're doing a lot of dodgy stuff, specifically with Jay. Like, I think what's the stuff. Oh, he can't go in the same tiers as Aracor though. He can go mid. Yeah, the stuff around him is pretty interesting, but as a character, he's pretty boring. Then we've got the leader of the Underworld Warriors, background side character, not much to say. Another administration agent. Then we have Bonzel. Bonzel can go great. Obviously, the highlight of her is Season 2, Part 1. I feel like when we first saw her in Season 1, Part 2, she was not a character that you'd expect to get more of. But I really like the idea that she was the spell that stopped the Forbidden Five, and it's really interesting seeing her being so nervous to go see Gandallaria again, and her sort of struggle with being, well, she's not human, but her struggle with living, and it's very interesting. I like Bonzel. Obviously, there's nothing else really for her the whole rest of the show of Dragons Rising, but just for what she does in Season 2, Part 1, she can go in great. Then this Traveler from Season 3, the Caregiver Bot. Background, barely in it. Lee's friend, again here. Lareau. I do have my issues with Lareau. I think I'm going to put her in mid because I don't understand some of her character decisions. I get that she doesn't like how Imperium's run anymore, but I think the ending of Season 1 should have shown her that Beatrix was unstable, and yeah, I just question her character decisions. Obviously, I get the rest of the loyalists, but her doesn't make as much sense to me why she's so on board with the Empress. But then again, it could just be that she's evil. Like, she's clearly not a good person, but yeah. Then we have Cinder. Cinder can go, kind of going to go mid. We don't get much about Cinder. He's kind of just a jerk. It was more interesting in Season 2, Part 1, but you still don't actually learn that much about him. So, I mean, I'll go mid. I don't like him in Part 2. He's very... there's not much to say about Cinder. He sort of just instantly gets replaced by Noct as soon as Noct comes in. So, we'll go mid with Cinder. Then we have the Cragling Elemental Master, background. The King of the Craglings can go background. See, this is the thing. These basically they're going background if I don't feel like they fit in good. Like, you can't put the King of the Craglings in with Aracor, or in with Barry, or in with the Dragon of Life. But yeah, then we have the Farmer guy, background. Dareth, we're only doing Dragons Rising, remember? So I'll go side character. I don't really like how he's written in Season 3, and I'm also a bit confused why he didn't have any reaction to Nia being there. Maybe they didn't see each other, but yeah. And we got this Hypnobri, background, another administration agent background, worst character in Dragon's Rising, Dorama. At least we can say that he didn't appear in Season 3 or Season 4. Fingers crossed he doesn't come back in Part 2. I just feel like Dorama's such a tropey character and so annoying. Like, I get the idea of him, drama. Oh, he likes theatre. He's always got this thing about theatre, but he's just so annoying. His voice is annoying. The character does nothing. It doesn't make sense as a character. Like, why is he evil? I get why he's evil with the fireworks thing, but I don't get why he's working for LaRoe and Beatrix. And I just can't stand him as a character. He's really annoying. Probably the worst character in Dragon's Rising, to be honest. Then we have, again, background side characters, the Underworld Warriors, I guess you can call them. I mean, they were cool characters. Sorry. They were cool characters to see, but yeah, there's not much to them. Then we have the announcer girl from the Zane thing, background. The security bots from the City of Temples, background. Bad. I'm counting these as the freebooters. The administration, we've got the Imperium Guards. I put them all together because they basically are the same. The ones with the more circular helmets and these ones, they're basically the same. So I put them all together. They are on this tier list. Where are they? We'll get to them once we find them. Yeah, they're there. Freebooters are really annoying, like Rapton, but they don't have the good first season like Rapton does, so it's just purely bad for me, which is why they're going there. And freebooters, another example, like Dorama, just unnecessarily annoying characters that show up way too much and actively make the scenes they're in worse. Then we have Nia, just going off. Next we have Nia, just like Barry, as an example. I feel like her character is used more to develop other characters, but you do get a lot more of Nia. Basically, what I'm saying is she's there a lot to help develop Sora in Season 1. Season 2 a little bit with Kai, and then obviously in Season 3 and 4, she's sort of there for Jay's character development, but she does get a decent amount to do. Nia, I'll go amazing. She's clearly above like Bonzel, but probably like she doesn't have the arc that Aaron has. So, yeah. Then we have Lloyd, goated. Probably this might be controversial, and I know I'm an old Ninjago fan. I've been a fan of the show since it came out. Like, you can't take that away from me. I kind of feel like Lloyd might be at his best in Dragon's Rising. Or, yeah, but the only trilogy is what really rivals it. I do think, no, not as good as Aaron, because Aaron solely had Dragon's Rising to get development, and all of it has happened in Dragon's Rising. And there are a couple missteps with Lloyd. But the stuff with Lloyd in Season 1 of him initially not wanting to become a master, then becoming one and being like a really good master. Yeah, becoming a really good master. And then you've got the stuff in Season 2 where he gets all the visions and the nightmares, which is great. Very good sort of allegory for mental health and anxiety and stuff like that, which is handled very well. It continues on in Part 2, not as much, but definitely grand Part 2. Then Season 3 is kind of where he falls off a bit. I feel like he doesn't have much to do in Part 1. And then Part 2, his arc is a bit weird, where it's like letting go. But I don't feel like that's what the arc was building to. I feel like it was more building to accepting the mistakes of Wu and sort of becoming his own teacher. That's, I feel like, what Dragon's Rising was building to. But then in Season 4, we get a lot about him. We get him learning about his elemental powers, which is something lots of people have been asking for, and they handled that very well. You get the sort of conflict with Enemy Lloyd, where Enemy Lloyd is, like I've explained before, Enemy Lloyd is basically everything negative in Lloyd's head. Enemy Lloyd is the amalgamation of that, and Lloyd has to confront those thoughts in Enemy Lloyd. And I just think that's such a standout scene. And then you can tell he's more mature and like strong once he fights Beatrix again. You can tell the way he talks, sounds very like experienced and mature. Like I said, yeah, Lloyd goated. Dragons Rising is 100% helped his character, especially after what they were doing in the Wild Brain seasons. I mean, he was good in 11. He was alright in Prime Empire. He's alright in Master of the Mountain. Decent in the Island. Alright in Seabound, but there's just not much to do in most of these seasons. And then in Crystallized, I think he's bad. I do not like Lloyd in Crystallized. So, I think they really reworked his character from Crystallized. Made it a lot better. Then we have the Dragonians. I put them all together. There is tier is on this tier list. I'll go mid. I think they're mid villains. This also includes Spectral Dragonians because there's literally no difference. First off, the Spectral Dragonians make no sense. We don't have any explanation why they're Spectral Dragonians because I don't think any of them die in Season 3. At least we don't see it. They don't show why. Again, just more problems in Season 3, man. Like, they don't show what happened to them. And, yeah, Dragonians mid villains, probably the worst of Dragons Rising. Definitely the worst of Dragons Rising. Yeah. Then we have the matriarch of the mountain tribe. Good. Gets a decent amount to do. Kind of like a more underdeveloped Dragon of Life. But I'll go good. I like her character. Drix can go good. Not much to say with Drix. Just enjoy. Just enjoy his action scenes. Standouts, obviously, I quite like the Raz fight where he just takes out Raz and the stuff with Kai, Nia, Pixel on the tree. Drix is easily the second best member of the Forbidden Five. And we've got Camille. Camille's going to go side character. She doesn't even say anything in Season 2. So, and again, we're just basing it off Dragons Rising. So there's not much to go off. I'll go here. Then we've got Elway. Background character, does get some lines, but yeah, he's sort of used more as an example to show what the true dangers of Lee and like the true evil of Lee. Then we have Blecht. I'm gonna go mid for Blecht. I feel like he's not a bad character, but I do feel like the twist around him is quite obvious. Because if you're gonna watch, if you watch Season 2 Part 2 and you think there's a twist villain, you'd instantly think Blecht. You wouldn't. I get that they were trying to show that it's Roby, but it's pretty obvious it's not Roby. I mean, they show it would feel very contrived if it was Roby. So it was pretty obvious it's Blecht. I do like his appearance in Season 3. I like how he sort of puts aside his difference because he's so dedicated to the Source Dragons and is worried about them. So Season 3 definitely did make him better. But again, mid. Then Cole would have gone good if it weren't for Season 4. He's very good in Season 1 in that one episode. Very good. I'll put Cole in great. He's alright in Season 2. He's pretty good in Part 1 and then he doesn't do much in Part 2. Season 3 is literally not in the first part. And then he doesn't get much to do in Part 2 except he gets hollowed. But I think Season 4 does a great job for Cole. Actually gives him something to do that's relevant to the plot. And kind of made him a standout character in the season. Like I said in my review, Lloyd, Jay, Cole, and Zane were kind of the standouts. And Frack were kind of the standouts of Season 4 Part 1. So, yeah, they really did a great job with Cole in Season 4. And if they continue to do that, he'll move up to amazing. Yeah. And then we've got Frack. Frack's tough because I do like the stuff they do. If it wasn't for Season 4, he's instantly going good or mid. But I kind of think he's great. I really enjoy the stuff they do with him in Season 4, the stuff with his dad. I think it kind of explains his character a bit, why he's the way he is. Because he's learned to not be... He never gets approval. So he just trains as hard as he can to try and get it. And his father's always been so strict on him. And it sort of explains why he's different to, say, Sora. And it shows a contrast of our main characters. Obviously, you've got Sora, who instantly, as soon as she could, just ran away from her parents because she didn't agree with them. Whereas you got Frack, who doesn't agree with his parents, but sort of has a different way of viewing it, where that's his dad. He can't just leave him. Which, I mean, neither of them are wrong, but it's an interesting thing to explore, and I think they're going to explore it a bit more in part 2. So Frack, because of season 4, again, like Cole, can go in great. Kai, Dragon's Rising Kai is goated. In season 1, he's very good. Part 1, there's not much with him, but I enjoy him. Part 2, you've got the stuff with him and Wildfire. Just little stuff, but it's so good. The stuff of him explaining the forms, how it helped him calm down when Neil was lost to the sea. Again, more development all of Crystallize gave him in one scene, one little scene. Then, obviously, season 2, part 1, probably the best season of Kai since Possession, maybe since Hands of Time. I think he's better than since Hands of Time or since Possession. So in what 9 or 7 years, that's the best version of Kai. Then part 2 he's barely in, but he's very good in the parts he's in. Season 3 doesn't have much to do, and then season 4 he's pretty good. So I'll put Kai and Goto overall. Not as good as Aaron and Lloyd, but probably above Nia because he gets all of season 2 part 1. So yeah. Then we've got Zane. Zane's tough because if this was before season 4, he's going mid. But season 4 was very good, but the stuff they did with him in season 3 was very bad. Like the big robot form made him feel even less human, and obviously Zane's not human, but you know what I mean. They always originally wrote Zane as they say it all the time. Zane is more than just an android, and then it really feels like they played up the fact that, oh look, he's an android, and yeah. So for Zane, just because of the damage they did to him in season 3, he can't go in great. But if they continue, and obviously in part 2 he's literally not in it, which is rough for his character. So he can go good. I think that's where Zane has to go. The killer robot exterminator things can go background. The elemental monsters. So these are just as, obviously as character, they'd be background. Well, they're technically, we're going to put the villains, I'll put them in good. I think they're a good faction of villains. Their designs are great. They're fun. They transform into the big ones. Like, there's not much to say. They're just good villains. Like, obviously they are side characters, background characters, but I think they deserve to go on this sort of tier, on these tiers, because, you know, they're full villain faction. So yeah. Then we have Euphrasia. Euphrasia can go good. There's not much to say of Euphrasia. I like the stuff of her in season 1. What else is she in? She's alright in season 2. Again, doesn't do much. Part 2, she's barely in. She's not in season 3 at all. And she's alright in season 4. So there's no issues with her. She doesn't have, like the other characters in good, she doesn't have the lows that Zane has, but she also doesn't have the highs that Zane has in season 4. So, good. And we got the Master of, I don't know, duplication. I don't remember him. Background. Levo. Levo's technically background, but I am quite interested in, but we didn't get much, so I'll put him in background. I want to see more Levo though, and I do feel like that time has passed unless Beatrix comes back somehow, but we've only got a season and a half left in Dragon's Rising, I'm pretty sure, so unfortunately I don't think we're getting any more of Levo, but yeah, definitely up like the higher ones of these characters. Then we have Enemy Lloyd, great. Literally one scene and he's better than almost all the characters on this tier list. Because to me, I'm basing Enemy Lloyd off, how do you say it? Enemy Lloyd is sort of Lloyd's doubts, so he's kind of he is a version of Lloyd. Yeah, he's a negative enemy version of Lloyd. So, great. I mean, he gives Lloyd the best development, some of the best development Lloyd's ever got, so he has to go in great. He's sort of like a Harumi-esque character. Not as good as Harumi and doesn't appear. Not as good as Harumi in the Oni trilogy, let me preface. And yeah, so I'll go great. Then we've got this administration agent, Ether, whatever, mid or background. Sora's teacher, background. Fedulian, mid. I don't like Fedulian. Fedulian can go bad actually, because he works with Dorama. The Source Dragon of Flow, background. Arc Dragon of Focus, mid. Not much to say. I mean, just comes in the last 2 episodes and stops Thunderfang. Feels very contrived. Obviously, there's not much to their character. They are just a vessel for the ninja to stop Thunderfang. So, mid. Dragon of... not Arc Dragon. Source Dragon of... Is this... That's not strength, is it? That's... I remember. Go there. Freya. Mid. Spitz can go good. Fugitive, background. Oh, he's quite annoying actually in season 3. Nah, we can go there. Gandalaria, good. And then the coconut version of her, bad. Because Gandalaria is quite good in season 2. And to be fair, she's only annoying when she's that bloody coconut. So the coconut can go in bad and Gandalaria can go in good. I think that's fair. Geo, good. Not much to say with him. I feel like he's very stagnant as a character. I feel like they were going to do more with him maybe in season 2. And then they just didn't. So, and I am getting, not sick of, but I am getting a bit sick of the Finders. I think it feels like Cole should be closer to them than he is. Like, it feels like Cole should be more... We don't see why Cole's so close to him, if that makes sense. Like Cole's favouring them over the ninja team. He's known them his whole life, basically. And he's choosing... I get he promised to protect them, but yeah, I don't know. Not the biggest problem on Geo's character. He can go good. Eagle, great. Oh, amazing. I'm going to go amazing with Eagle. Probably the best side character in Dragon's Rising. I love Eagle. All the stuff in Season 2, Part 1 is great, where he learns to trust humans again. The stuff with the wasting sickness and wildfire. I really like Eagle. And then you see him a little bit in Season 2. Obviously, I don't think his death was handled the best. I feel like it was very undercooked and could have been a lot better for such an important character to a lot of people. But his scene in Season 4 is really good. The scene with Rontu. So, he can go amazing. And I do think, like, Izzy scene great. Like, I think he's better. Cole's best season, Season 4. I think Eagle is better in Season 2 than Cole is in Season 4. If that makes sense. So, that's why it's going amazing. Then, the chef guy there. Inquisitor. Background. This guy, background. Background. Chancellor Gulch, background. Background. Gweeb. Background. This one, background. Background. Source Dragon of Energy. Mid. Don't get much to do with them. We'll go background. They don't do much. Frack's dad is a good character. As like a character, like as a person, I don't really like him that much. But as a character, I think he's quite a good character. He sets up a lot of development for Frack. Really explains why Frack is the way he is. And if you're putting Barry in good, I think you have to put Reginald Slipperbottom. I think you have to put him in good as well. I think he's a good character. Then Intelligent George there. Jay, goated. I mean, he's literally in Season 1 and Season 2 and the first part of Season 2 for about a minute. So there's not much to say there. Season 2 Part 2 is good, but would have liked him to be in it a bit more. Season 3 Part 1, he's very good. He's probably the best part with Aaron and Raz. And Season 3 Part 2 is easily the best part. And Season 4 he's arguably the best part as well. So I feel like they just continue Jay's great, like really great development with Jay. And he's just, like this is peak Jay up there with the early seasons like Skybound Jay. That's probably the best Jay. Skybound and Season 1 Jay. like around that era, season 1 to season 6. Jay probably the best, and this is not as good as that Jay, but still quite good. Like he's a scene stealer, Jay's. And I hope they continue development because he was good once he got his memories back. He was still good. So I'm just hoping they don't go back to like the really childish Jay like they did in the Wild Brain era. So yeah. Overall, Jay definitely goated. Then we have Jenny. Again, Jenny can go same tier as Barry. I explained why for Barry. I don't think I need to say anything different for Jenny. Then Johnny Courageous can go mid. I think it's interesting that a loyalist has infiltrated into so many. Like I said in my review, it's very interesting how the loyalists have infiltrated their way into so many different organizations, stuff around the merged lands. But as a character himself, he's not that interesting. To be fair, he gets more to do than the lead loyalist, so I'll put him in there. Yeah, then the Inquisitor. Jordana can go good. Would have liked to see a bit more with her. She's good in season 2, but it feels like she's just gone. Where I think maybe they'll bring her back. I don't know. I feel like it's done with Jordana, but for what we got, she's a pretty good character. Then another administration agent, Kizzy. There, Krill is annoying. She can go mid. Oh, Krill's bad actually. Cruncher. Oh, we just going up. Oh, we're just going up Dragons Rising. They can go background, I guess. I'll put Knuckle here as well. I loved seeing them again, but they're in it for like one scene. But yeah, do love them. Shout out the goats. Kerr, mid. Nothing to say about Kerr. She's got about 5 lines. She decays Roby, then does nothing for the rest of the season. Probably the most, like, not useless, because Zark's definitely more useless, but the most underused Forbidden Fire member. And yeah, then we got the lead, Lava Tide, background. Leaf Blade can go good. Lee can go great. Probably the second or third best villain. I think he's better as a villain than Beatrix. Like, the concept of Lee is more interesting than Beatrix. So I'll go great. He's probably one of the best parts of... He's way better than Thunderfang and the Forbidden Five. He's obviously not as good as Raz. But as a villain, he's very interesting. He's sort of not a villain. He's just going about stuff the wrong way, which I think is quite interesting. So I'll go great. And yeah, Lee's just very interesting. And I would like to... Obviously, he won't be a villain probably if he returns. But a highlight of Season 3 Part 2. So I'll put him in great. And he was more threatening than a massive, like, 100-foot dragon. Got this normal looking guy. Way better villain than Thunderfang. That's crazy to me. Then we got what are these called? The Source Dragon. The people that are at the City of Temples. The Source Dragon of Life. Oh, we put him twice, I think. Alright, background. Bad. I hate the Lightning Tides. Again, you can see the theme. Season 3. The Lightning Tides are so annoying. The Lava Tides are alright in Season 1, but I feel like they really hammed it up in Season 3. And it's the first episode, and it's like, what are we doing? Why are we with the Lightning Tides? Like, they're so annoying. Lobo, mid. Not much to say. Loyalists, put like the Loyalists all together. Actually, they're going in great. Again, I think the Loyalists are the best villain faction in Dragons Rising as a whole. They're so interesting. The fact that they've infiltrated the administration, they've infiltrated Umbra Silvers, they've infiltrated the Explorers Club, they've infiltrated Imperium. Like, it's so interesting that they're basically, if you think about it, they're probably all over the merge realms. There's probably some in Ninjago. Well, there's obviously some in Ninjago City, but like there's probably some in the Cloud Kingdom. Like, isn't that just interesting? And I think they executed well, where you see stuff like that when the administration agents flip into the loyalists. So I'll go great for the loyalists as a whole. This is all of them together as a group, not counting LaRoe, but yeah. And we've got Mans there, Marcus, I'm pretty sure there. Mechanic, good. Not much of him. He's only in the mech shorts, but he's pretty good in the mech shorts. Would like to see him return more, maybe in like the start of season 5, because he does have an interesting dynamic with Sora. Where is Sora? We should Sora's there. He does have an interesting dynamic with Sora. Obviously, one's the master of tech, and then one's not a master, but they're both probably equally skilled with tech. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah, go good for the mechanic. Telk, I'm pretty sure. Mid. This one mid. The Imperium of Guards can go good. I think they're quite funny. They're way better than the claws. Not the claws, sorry. They're way better than the what are they called? A Rapton's crew. The freebooters. They're way better than the freebooters. They're quite funny. You got the scenes with like the guy that got the eye exam and he's watering the thing. I quite like them. Can go good. Beatrix can go good. I think as a villain she's quite basic. She's just wants revenge. And they did explain it a little bit more, but still I think she's quite a basic villain. She's nowhere near like if you compare her to Lee, Lee's so much more interesting than her, which is why she's in good. But she's definitely above like LeRoe and Cinder. And yeah. Now we've got this skeleton side. Moro can go great. He was great for what we got. And he can also go great because of how the chance of that they could have ruined him and they didn't. Like, he was the biggest. He's the only returning character for that long. It was 10 years, or 8 years technically, because of Day of the Part. Or 9 years, sorry. 9 years, 2016. That we hadn't seen Moro, and they did a really good job handling him. I feel like it makes sense in his character that he's trying to sort of repent for what he did wrong and help people pass through. So, Moro, great. Then, Archdragon of Motion. Oh, the Source Dragon of Motion can go good. Frohiki can go good. Mr. Pale can go mid. Oh, nah, he's barely in his side character. Neuro side. Ryu, good. Easily the weakest of the new ninja because he is a dragon, but I do feel like they could be doing more with Ryu. They did do a bit more in Season 4, but take Season 3 for example. I challenge you to give me 2 things that Ryu does in that season. Obviously there's one, he does spinjitzu, but you can't give me another. Season 3, Season 2 he learns to fly, that's about it, and helps Nia get Kai out. And then Season 1, he's essential for Sora's powers and her arc, so he is important in Season 1. But it feels like Ryu's easily the most forgettable of the main cast. And then we've got Ninja Fan Infinity, I think it's called, side character. Noct, where did I put Drix? Noct can also go good. I feel like he's really good in Season 2, but then he's just meh in Season 3, like he doesn't do anything. Also, all the Forbidden 5 are impacted by how bad they are in Part 2 of Season 3. So, and I don't think Noct's great. Like, he's definitely not as good as Lee or Enemy Lloyd. So, Noct can go good. Then we've got Obscuria, background, the leader of the gang, background. Percival can go good. I like his turn. It makes sense. You see how he goes, oh, I saw them escape. And you understand why he's turned on Imperium because he literally sees it firsthand. It makes most sense why he would turn out of anyone from Imperium. He literally saw what happened. He saw them lying and put 2 and 2 together. So I like Percival. And he stands by his place even against Beatrix when he knows he's probably going to lose. Got this weird tied background. Pixel's been very mid in Dragon's Rising. She's not written badly, she's just written mid. Like, there's nothing to say. What has Pixel done? She beat Zarked, which I guess is good, but not that much of achievement. Then isn't in Part 2 and isn't in Part 1 of Season 4. So, Pixel can go mid. I'm not complaining that much, though. I don't feel like we need that much for Pixel, but then again, there was also the argument of just don't bring her back then. Like, this is the most essential character to Zane, and you're trying to give Zane development, and then you bring her back, and then you take out Zane and Pixel. Like, just put Zane on a quest to go find Pixel instead, right? Doesn't make much sense. Then we got the Pontifex Pontifex whatever, however you say his name, Pontifex Magicus, I think. Background, power lid, bad, so annoying, and he's in it twice. As I said in my episode tier list, when I saw them coming back, I was not happy. So power lid can go in bad. Then we have, do we have Rapton on this tier list? Yeah, we do. His name. Lightning Tide again, bad. Rapton, mid. If it was season 1 Rapton, he'd probably go good. But the damage they did to him in season 3, and like the damage they did to my excitement of seeing Rapton, had to put him in mid. He's pretty good in season 4 because, like I said with Rapton, he's one of those characters where you put him in for one scene. Just one scene. And that's what they did in season 4. One scene, causes some chaos. Maybe it's funny. It was pretty funny in season 4. And then he's gone. Doesn't return. That's not what they did in season 3. They bring him back for a whole episode. Then he's back again in part 2. And he's just being annoying. And they're, oh, we gotta be quiet. It's just annoying. Same with Power Lid. Maybe if he was just in one episode, he'd be less annoying. I still think he's quite annoying. But when he comes back and he's got that stupid arc about him and Gandalaria being friends, it's like, I don't care. This is the second last episode and we're talking about a coconut and this big guy being best friends. Like, what are we doing? But yeah, anyway, off the season 3 rant. Rapton mid. Raz, goated, easily. Top 5 villain in Ninjago history. Easily. Just like how intimidating he is when he walks into the monastery, and Fro, Hickey, and Geo and all of them are cooked. Like, and when he had that bone armor on, he's just such a sick villain, and he's also very smart. So he's got the strength, so he's scary. But you also know he's super intelligent. I mean, you see all the way he manipulated Aaron. One thing with Aaron, the thing Sora did, and he completely flipped Aaron onto the other side when Aaron knew how evil Raz is, and he still picked Raz's side. Like, yeah, just a great villain. Can't wait to see him in part 2. Really hope we get to find out about his master and they don't betray him. Raz will go down a tier if his master betrays him because of how intelligent they've written him. If Raz's master betrays him in like just a normal way like they did with Thunderfang, for example, he will go down a tier because it affects his character to me. But I don't think that's going to happen. Fingers crossed. Please, can that not happen? Yeah, Raz, go to character easily. I could go on for hours about how good Raz is. Tier can go mid. Nothing to say about tier, really. Roby can go good. I like him sometimes. He's pretty good in season 2 and doesn't do much in season 3, so we can go good. Rontu. Yeah, Rontu can go... This is hard. Rontu can go good. I do not nearly care about Rontu as much as I did about Ego, and I think that shows from the development in the season. I also think Rontu probably could have died in season 4. Like, I get she's still there to train Ryu, but no one really cares about that. I like Rontu, but there's not much to talk about Rontu. There's a clear difference between Rontu and Ego for me. Like, if Rontu died, I wouldn't be that sad. I was sad when Ego died, and I was disappointed how they did the scene. So, I think that's pretty different. Rontu can go good. She's on the level of, like, a Zane in Dragon's Rising. Yeah. Then we've got this guy that's in the Explorers Club background. Rocks, bad. Was pretty good in the one scene we get it in a couple scenes we get it in season 2. But in season 3, she's just so dumb. Like, it's Fallen Wishes that puts her this low. Like, I like her design. I love the face design. It's so cool. For such a meant to be smart villain and the leader of the Forbidden Five, she's so stupid in that fight that she has to go bad. They really wasted the Forbidden Five, man. It's sad to see. But yeah. Then we've got Zakar. We'll go background. He's in one scene. People do really like Zakar. He better not be Raz's master. That wouldn't make sense. But Zakar's alright. The one background. This guy, background. Security Arts, background. Sora's parents, good. Again, like I said with Barry and Jenny, they are more characters that are used to develop other characters. Like, we don't need to learn about Sora's parents, but I was very excited to see Sora's parents come back because it means we're getting more Sora development. And I do think they're still evil. I do like the idea of Sora's parents being so evil and so not maybe not evil, so blind to the truth that they're literally gonna go to their daughter's place when she shunned them out basically and betray her, which I think is what's gonna happen. I really hope they don't get redeemed because I do like the idea of some parents just being bad. Like you've got the good parents, you've got Barry and Jenny, you've got Frack's dad who isn't the best parent, but he's trying to. But then you've also got the bad ones like Sora's parents. I think that's very interesting. So yeah, they can go good. Sora, goated. Love what they did with her in season 1. Season 2, she doesn't get as much to do, but still good. Season 3, again, not too much. Season 4, she's good. She's not as good as Aaron, but she's a very good character. She's a go character. Aaron and Sora are great additions to the cast, and they really add something new to Ninjago, which I feel like it needed. So, yeah, Sora goated. And she's just fun to see on screen. Like, when there's a scene with Sora, you just enjoy it. Like, she's a good character. This TikTok, Instagram guy there. Spirit of the Temple there. Woo can go mid. We've barely seen anything of Woo. Or, if we can, oh no, we're counting the same Bonsal, then we can go good. I don't really want to see more Woo because I feel like I like Lloyd just being the leader. I don't mind Woo not coming back, but if we're talking about the stuff around Woo, it's very interesting. Like I'm very interested to see because I do think he caused the merge. I'm interested to see why he caused the merge, and I think there's a fair reason. Obviously, you do have the fact that Woo just won't tell them. Classic Master Woo. Oh, this big bad. I've known about them for 50 years. I'm just not going to tell you. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with Woo. He can go good. Happy to see him whenever he shows up, even in this live form. Spitz can go. Where did I put Fritz? Spitz can go good. Source Dragon of Strength. Background. This guy, background. Wolf Warriors can go good. Or they can go mid. There's nothing to them, really. Cool designs, but nothing to them. Howlers, background. This guy, background. Thunderfang, mid. I don't think Thunderfang's as bad as the Forbidden Five, mainly because he wasn't built up at all. He's just showed up like, oh, the Forbidden Five are going to be the next villains of Season 3. But they've actually got to master a massive dragon. That's going to be a big set. Make sure you buy the set, guys. But, yeah, Thunderfang could go bad, actually. Yeah, he can go bad. He's just so underdeveloped like the Forbidden Five, and the main thing with Thunderfang is you hear Black talk about it. You hear, I think some other character talks about it. Oh, at least Thunderfang didn't go to the Spectral Lands. Then he goes to the Spectral Lands. Then he loses in an anticlimactic way, and his motivation is quite weak, especially for the second time, and he's not that intimidating. He's barely in it. He betrays the Forbidden Five. It would have been so much more interesting if he didn't betray them. Because it's just another great devourer, basically. Thunderfang, bad. This guy, background, Tox, background. The other main administration agent, where'd I put? She can go there. This guy here, Wildfire, amazing. I love Wildfire. Doesn't have the most development, but she's just such a joy to see on screen. Like it's just fun when Wildfire, especially she just sort of brings this unique energy as a character to scenes. Like imagine the Frack Sora and Ryu storyline without Wildfire. It would be nearly as funny, and she adds a lot to Kai's character. Even with Jay's character, I like her and Jay's relationship. I like her and Nia's relationship. I just think she works really well with a lot of characters. Aaron even she works well with. Obviously Kai being the main one, but yeah, Wildfire's amazing. I do wish she got more. She's obviously not nearly got as much development as Sora and Aaron. But, and the stuff with Eagle is great. The stuff with Roby is alright. Not the best, but decent. The stuff with Ryu I like. The stuff with Heatwave is good. Like, there's a lot of stuff to like about Wildfire. And I like how she's still very much herself, but you see slowly across the seasons that she's a lot less, like, wild and sort of, how would you say, she's more trained, you can say, because she's very like wild and untrained, and yeah, you know what I mean. Like, she's a great character. I like Wildfire. She can go amazing. Then Lava Tide side characters. Teen Lloyd can, or Little Lloyd can go good. Same with Tween Lloyd. That's what they call him. Good. Would have liked to see more. Xantan, good. Zark, bad. Not much to say of Zark. He's just the worst of the Forbidden Five. And if Rox isn't bad, Zark has to be in bad. I mean, another thing with Rox, you literally don't see her elemental power. Like, Fear is such an interesting power, unlike Misfortune. But you just don't even see it. And then Zark, such a waste of a cool design. Specifically the helmet. The torso and stuff is good, but the helmet is sick. It's just such a waste. So Zark, bad. Zeatrix, mid. I do want to talk about this. How long is this video? Okay, we can talk about this quickly. Zeatrix, I'd mentioned this before. It doesn't make any sense to me why she has the same haircut and design as Beatrix. Because if you think about it, her motivation is that she hates Beatrix. And she wants to get revenge on Ninja for stopping them when she should have. Why is she looking exactly like her sister then? And I also think the character we see in the flashbacks is not the same character as we see in season 2 and 3. Maybe you could say that she's changed because she got betrayed and she wasn't in a position of power like she was before. But I still think Zeatrix, you can't tell me the Zeatrix in the season 1 flashbacks is the same character as the in season 2. I don't know. And I also just think she's been underutilized. Like, we were so excited to see Zeatrix back, and I feel like let me know if I'm wrong here, but I think I'm right. I feel like they did the haircut thing with Zeatrix just so they could have the little twist of it being Zeatrix and not Beatrix. When, yes, we did all think it was Beatrix, but it's not that crazy of a twist. Like, I think it would have been more worth it to have it be a separate character. But, yeah. Yeah, mid character. We could talk more, but, yeah. Zer can go good. Earth Dragon here. Xanth can go good. Fire Dragon, side character. Heat Wave, good. Ice Dragon there, and Jiro, good. So, yeah, that's the tier list for Dragons Rising. Characters, we have a lot in background side characters. Couple in bad. I'd say the worst ones in bad are Dorama, Power Lid, Lightning Tides, and Rocks. Mid, we got not too many in mid. A fair amount in good. Some in great, not many in amazing. And a fair few in goated. So, yeah, overall, let me know your guys' thoughts on the tier list. Did I say anything crazy? Did I put a character too high? Anyone too low? Yeah, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and goodbye.